Welcome back to V Speaks. My name is V, and to all the returning subbies, welcome. I really appreciate your support. And to anyone watching this video for the first time, please comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends about V Speaks, okay? I'm looking at you in the eyes. So today we are making the second episode of V Cooks. We'll be making mac and cheese with canned mince. It will be my first time trying this mince, né? And hey, wow, I'm scared. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So we're gonna start with the mac and cheese, and so the first step would be to make the macaroni. So I used Fettes and Mooney's macaroni, as you saw. You're gonna boil some water, add it to a pot, add a bit of oil, don't add the whole bottle of oil, and some salt. And the oil prevents the pasta from sticking, okay? Yeah, so let us do that. Okay, so you can also boil the macaroni for 10 to 15 minutes or until the consistency that you like, because I know that there are people who like it a specific way. Then you're just gonna drain it, take it out of that pot. This hot pot can make your macaroni cook even more, and it can make it mushy if you don't like mushy macaroni, overcooked basically. So taking it out of the pot to let it cool down keeps the consistency that you would prefer it to be. Like for me, I like firm macaroni. So next we'll be making the cheese sauce. So guys, cheese sauce is white sauce, and I know you've seen me make it in the previous videos, but we will start with grating the cheddar cheese. I use cheddar cheese because cheddar cheese is more stretchy, and Gouda is high stretchy, man, and high melty sharp for me, So yeah, there am I, cutting it into 2 pieces and starting the whole grating process. And then we're gonna be making the sauce. So you're gonna melt 4 tablespoons of butter into a saucepan or a pan, anything that you have at home, and make sure that butter is nice and melted. All those lumps, they are gone, ne? So when you are done melting, and you must have a whisk. This whisk is very important, or a fork if you don't have a whisk, because you're gonna have to stir some flour in it. So you're gonna add 2 heaped spoons, like 2 big heaps of flour. If not 2 heaped, you can add 3 if it's not heaped enough. It depends on also how much you want your sauce to be. Then you're gonna add a bit of milk. I would say if you want to measure this, keep 1 cup on the side and just keep adding bit by bit, depending on how much sauce you need. You keep adding the milk. It will get thick no matter how much milk you add, and you're just gonna whisk while you add the milk bit by bit. Please whisk that girl, whisk ngonyana or 2. So here am I adding more milk, and I'm whisking until it becomes nice and thick. And I'm sure I'll show you there when I'm done that it does become thick. And I also add a bit of salt. You can add pepper also, or you can add any spice that you want to make it more flavorful. And then I add my cheese. So white sauce and cheese. Cheese. When it now has cheese, we call it a cheese sauce. Voila. And adding cheese to the white sauce makes it more stretchy, more thick, more elasticity, you know, because of the cheese. So yeah. Once the sauce is done, I decided to add the macaroni into the sauce. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can add the sauce as a layer later on, but for me, I just prefer to mix the sauce and the macaroni together. For me, it tastes good. So yeah. Next, we're going to be making some mince. So now I decided to try the canned mince, and if I'm being honest with you, on its own it's not nice. If you add some things like all these ingredients that I added to it, it tastes really good. So please add things to it. Don't just eat it on its own unless you like how it tastes on its own. So first, I chopped 1 carrot and 1 onion. So here you carrot, and then you'll see me grate and onion, sorry, and then you'll see me grate a carrot. We're going to add some oil in a pan and fry the onion and add a bit of spice to add flavor to the onion. If you don't like oniony taste, mara onion guys, yo. Then you're gonna add your grated carrots. Add as much as you want. It depends on how many people you're cooking for or how many days, etc. Just add the consistency you prefer. That's what I always suggest. Add with your heart. Yeah. So you're gonna mix up the carrots and the onions until the carrots and the onions are nice and cooked, because yeah, sometimes they're stubborn, you know, they can taste uncooked later on. So cook them. Then I add in the canned mince. So yeah, the canned mince on its own, like I said, but once I added it into the carrots and I mixed all the ingredients, it tasted good. So I would suggest it for convenience, but not if you can afford proper mince. That's why I just wanted to taste it, you know. So you're gonna mix everything inside. You're gonna mix. As you can see, it looks good and it tastes very good. So we're mixing, and I added some tomato sauce because I wanted it to taste like a tomato sauce, you know, like a sauce. Or let's just rather say red sauce. And then I added some spice, and then mix everything together. And I think I also added the marinade, the barbecue marinade from Pick and Pay. So yeah, then you mix. Next, we'll be making some coleslaw. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really love coleslaw. Okay, so you will be seeing a lot of coleslaw in my recipes because I really love it. It's such a convenient salad, man, and it's also affordable. So you're gonna grate carrots as per usual. I love a coleslaw with carrots, ne? So they have grated everything, and then I've already chopped up some cabbage, and then we just add mayonnaise and we mix everything, and voila, your coleslaw. Next, we'll be assembling the mac and cheese. So with assembling, you're gonna need a dish or a bowl that is oven proof, and then you're going to layer some macaroni with the cheese sauce. Then as you can see, just a small thin layer, you don't have to put too much. Then you put on the red sauce / mince, and then macaroni again. I think, let's see. Yeah, macaroni again, the red sauce / mince, and then on the next layer I added a bit of cheese in between, and then you're gonna do the step again, macaroni and sauce and cheese, and then yeah. Then once you filled up your dish, your bowl that is oven proof, emphasis on oven proof, you're gonna add a thick layer of cheese to cover up everything. So you must put some cheese on top. So this is going to be a non-oven baked mac and cheese. We're gonna put it in the microwave. It's a microwave mac and cheese. So for me, I set the timer to 15 minutes so that the cheese can melt on top and can be nice and hot, and the cheese inside, because remember I added a bit of cheese in one of the layers. And yeah man, 15 minutes and there we go. And once the cheese on top is melted to according to the way you want, you know, if it's not melted enough for you or the color is not looking good enough, you keep microwaving it. You add parsley on top to decorate, and there is my mac and cheese, guys. I must say it really tasted good, and here's the final results: mac and cheese with some coleslaw. Bye.